Yeah, thank you. I think that's as hard a team to play and prepare for as maybe any team we've ever played. I'm really proud of the fact that our kids, hung around, and obviously the last 15 minutes of the game, I said on the radio, maybe Brent Bloom can put that in a bottle and sell it for the collective, because that was a pretty good 15 minutes. But another group effort, and I would say probably more so than any game that she's played up to this point. Emily Ryan just refused. I mean, literally refused to let this team not compete down the stretch. And you could sense it in the huddles. So just really fortunate that the second half we shot it better, and obviously they didn't. And we did a lot of things better in the second half, but really proud of our team.
When did, when you guys fall into, a 19-point deficit, I got to imagine, like, confidence maybe wavers at times. When did you, maybe it didn't for you guys, but when did you feel like we are really back into this game?
Well, we got down 19, and there was a timeout. We took a timeout. I think it was like 6-something to go. And like I said, before I sat down, Emily Ryan was just in a good way. I mean, it was like, okay, this is not what we're about. And I told the team before the game, after the win the other night, I got a lot of text messages, emails, and the mantra or the message I got from everyone was, this team's fun to watch. They have a level of toughness to them, and they remind fans and former players of our 1999-2000 team, which before these guys were even born. And I just repeated that during the timeouts about, if that's who we are, then it's time to start doing it. We made a couple minor adjustments defensively. I think the biggest thing is we started the defensive rebound better, which allowed us to get out in transition so we could score before they pressed us, because that press is, our scout team did a phenomenal job of simulating it, but damn, that's hard to beat. And luckily, we turned the ball over 20 times, but not a lot of pick sixes, so that was big.
So you kept, during all the timeouts in the second half, kept reminding them of those three things?
Yep. That's all we talked about. And, the staff did a great job of, hey, one more possession, do this. And our staff my staff's done as good a job this year, I think, as they've ever done, all of them. And I think what we've done in timeouts, and they did it, basically they've done it on their own, is they each kind of grab someone and say, hey, this is what I need from you on the next possession. And our kids have really bought into that. And once we got to the end of the third quarter and we were down, I think 8, now it's like, all right, you got a chance. They didn't knock us out. We talk a lot about sometimes you got to lay on the ropes and protect yourself and just don't fall down. Just stay on your feet, man. And we got to the end of the third quarter and luckily started to make some plays, and then the crowd was tremendous. You think about the blessing that we have to play here, and the idea that, the weather is what it is in Iowa and the fans are great. And the thing I say all the time about Iowa State fans is they don't eat their own, and they're not screaming and hollering and yelling when we're down 19. They're in the game. And they're like, hey, they need us, let's go. And I think that changed the game for our kids. I really, really do. That once we finally saw the ball go in the basket, crowd got into it. Now it's a game. And we were just fortunate the last 5 minutes we were really good.
You usually say that, like, when players leave the arena, like, the game is, off their mind, win or loss. But is a game like this, a win like this, the type of a game that can maybe carry momentum for maybe more than the 10 minutes until they leave the arena?
Before they get their post-game meal? That's a good question. I think for some of them, yes. I think it's kind of one of those things from a coaching standpoint, like, see, we always tell you it's a 40-minute game. We're down 19 to a top 25 team. And so, yeah, I think that's part of it. And I hope it does, because I guarantee you the team we're playing Saturday is in a really bad mood right now. So it seems like that's been our schedule's been playing a Big 12 team that's pissed off because they lost or something bad happened. So we're going to get another one Saturday. So, but I hope it does. I do. I hope it does. And, you know, sometimes as coaches, especially me, it's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? You know, and sometimes I'd like to see them think less about what's next and, you know, that quick. But I think tonight they'll be like, oh, wow, okay, this is possible. So that's kind of cool.
Obviously, Bill, honored for 600 wins here before the game. And I wonder if in game 601, could you reflect on maybe have you ever come back from 19 points down against a good team and won by 10?
I'm going to say no. I would be shocked. I mean, I'm sure Sarah could give you that information. But it's like I told the team after the game. I feel bad because they've done so much and way too much of the attention has been on the 600 thing, and I'm glad that's over with. But the last thing I said before I left the locker room was 601 was amazing. And so I'm trying to think, and Rob, I don't think so. I would be shocked if that happened.
And you touched on Emily before the game. You told us you're going to try to strategically up her minutes. She got up above 25 tonight, but seemed very strategic. There were times she needed to be on the floor, it seemed like, and you made sure she was in there.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked really hard. Like I've said this many times, our training staff and Aaron in strength and conditioning, we've worked really hard to manage this, and Emily's done a good job for the most part of understanding. So you're sitting there going, all right, do you go 2 more minutes and stay in the game? That's why we started the second half. It's like the game's over. If we go down 5 quick ones, it could be over. So now you got to get her out. And the minutes that she's played, we've worked really hard with that. And so far, I think she's handled it great. I think her teammates have, and it's proven to be, in most cases, we've been able to have her in the game when we needed her in the game.
Bill, when the threes weren't falling early and Audie was fed down low, how much of an impact did she make in this game?
No, she made a huge impact. I think they did a really good job of. They were obviously not going to let us shoot a lot of threes. You know, we just kept saying throw it in there. If they do double, kick it. But they didn't do a lot of double teaming. I thought Nelly had some good good plays inside too. And that's, you know, the nature of the game. And it's odd that, you know, the first half it looked like they made everything. I mean, everything they looked at. In the second half they didn't. In the second half for us, we made the ones that we had to make. But we said before the game, we were living and dying with we're not going to let them shoot free throws. We just couldn't guard them. So it's like make them shoot threes, get some rebounds. So, and I thought Addie and Emily both did a really good job of giving Audie the ball, right place, right time, and Audie finished and got a couple and ones. And I think you know, when you're down, you need to find. We talk all the time, find a way to score. And a lot of the game early was find a way to throw it to 55.
And then to have that run in the fourth quarter like you did this feel like the best fourth quarter of the season?
No question. You're living in the moment, but I mean, to go 27-9 against a really, really, really good team means you're scoring, means you're defending, means you're executing in special situations. Yes, I would not argue that at all. Appreciate your time, everyone. Please be safe.
You too. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So you saw the score of the Baylor